First off, my name is Matt Einhauser. I'm the Natural Resources Manager with the City of Rochester Hills. I want to thank you guys and welcome you all to our official Arbor Day celebration. Thank you to Meadowbrook. This is the second year that we've partnered with them on this great event. And before we get started, we have the Daisy Troop from Musson Elementary who are going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So. Alrighty. Thank you, girls. So this is the 28th consecutive year that Rochester Hills has been awarded or recognized as a Tree City USA community through the Arbor Foundation. So what's that mean? Well, to be considered Tree City USA, you got to meet 4 specific criteria, one of which is what we're actually doing today, and that's celebrating Arbor Day and having an official proclamation. The other 3 are having a forestry department, which the City of Rochester Hills has a forestry unit in our Parks and Natural Resources Department with 3 full-time arborists. We also have a tree conservation ordinance to help preserve and enhance our urban forests and trees in the city. And then lastly, we have a budget that actually supports a forestry program and our forestry department. So today we're going to be planting a hybrid elm, Patriot elm, which is very similar to the other trees you're seeing here in this tree row. So it fits in quite nicely. And we have Mayor Barnett here who's going to be talking a little bit and proceeding over the ceremony and reading the proclamation. And once again, assisting him is the Daisy Troop from Musson Elementary, and will be the labor behind planting the tree. So thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Looking at the weather, I'm going to move from my 1 hour and 45-minute remarks to my 3-minute remarks. And start by thanking all of you for being here and making a time in your busy schedule to recognize the importance of trees, and specifically trees here in Rochester Hills in our community. As Matt mentioned, we value trees a great deal, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a few minutes, but I want to thank especially the Daisies for your help in being here today, because it's important. There we go. It's important not only that old people like me and the people standing understand the importance of trees, but it's important that you, the next generation, understand how important they are for a vibrant and healthy community. And so we're really glad that you're here. Well, we're really excited to be in one of the most beautiful spots in our community. This is Meadowbrook Hall, and we are always so graciously hosted by our friends at Oakland University. And so it's my privilege to welcome to the stage the gentleman who lives here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, quietly in an upper room, Jeff Upward. Come on up, Jeff.
Thank you, Mayor, and welcome everyone today. First of all, I want to just thank everyone that worked, actually, out in the woods for a fantastic job. So give yourselves a hand. Specifically, we actually cleaned a good portion of the entry drive, which was very important to Mr. and Mrs. Wilson. So it's been one of our hopes that we could actually bring that back the way it looked back in their day, and that was just the first step. So thank you very much. I want to thank especially our volunteers. Many Meadowbrook volunteers work today, as well as members from the community. We actually get tens of thousands of hours of volunteer time from a lot of folks, which, if you do the math, depending on how much we would pay them per hour, which would, of course, would vary, would be a lot of money. But even more important than that is actually the community engagement that we have. We welcome all of you. This is a community asset. We're especially thankful to Mayor Barnett and the City of Rochester Hills for all they do to support our efforts. So I just want to thank everyone again. Great work out there. It's going to look really nice this summer. Thank you.
Couldn't help but feel like he was looking my way when he said we thank those who worked. So I wasn't going to say this, but I know Jeff would want me to express his gratitude. Everyone who helped today can pick one item out of the hall behind me and take it home free today. So go ahead and I'd go upstairs, look at some of that artwork if I were you. Listen, it's always a privilege to be here, and I want to thank my friend Scott Kunselman, who's here, the Chief Operating Officer of Oakland University. Thanks for being so generous with your campus and your staff and your team. Round of applause is certainly appropriate for you and your team. Thank you. And we also want to thank the volunteers, as Jeff mentioned, Relief Michigan, statewide volunteer nonprofit tree planting organization. Where's Relief Michigan? Are they here? They had to go back to, they're planting trees elsewhere. But we appreciate them, and for all the other volunteers that are here today, we thank you for your help. I'm always appreciative of the team I get to work with, members of the City Council. I see Councilwoman McCardle, Councilwoman Hetrick, and Councilman Kubasini here. If you three could wave your hand and be recognized, thank you for your leadership. And Councilwoman Marita, and Councilwoman Boyer. Fresh from overseas, I believe. Yeah, thanks, welcome. We have a good team here today. And we have a great team at the city here, and we recognize we get to come in and celebrate these things, but there is a tremendous team at the city that works every single day in our department, Parks Department and Natural Resources, and they just do an absolutely fantastic job, and they're led by Ken Elwert, who's in the back, and Jerry Pink. The whole team, where are they at? They're over here. Yes, the whole team is over here. Guys, give them a huge round of applause, if you would, please. 28 years as a tree city is pretty cool, and it doesn't happen without being intentional about our love of the trees. And from the city of Rochester Hills perspective, every single thing that leaves the city has a tree on it, a specific tree, a tree that's important to us. It's the largest beb oak in America, and it's found on Livernois Road just south of Auburn. And on every business card, on every letter that you get, on every water bill, on every tax bill, on everything that comes from the city of Rochester Hills is that tree. And that tree is important because we understand how important trees are in our community, that the tree canopy, that the folks that care for it all play a very important role in our community. And we measure our tree canopy. We look and try to find ways that we can grow it, find ways that we can plant trees in new and unique places. We have dreams and desires that you'd never be more than 100 feet from a tree in our city. And that team of folks over there work really hard to try and make that possible. In a city that's as grown up and developed as ours, it's not always easy. And trees, I know, are important to Oakland University too, not only because we're standing among them, but I listened to their new president get inaugurated a week ago today, and she mentioned the importance of trees and really likened the importance of a university to the roots of a tree. That the university exists to give folks and students strong roots. And that's exactly what we're going to do here today. We're going to help this tree get strong roots so that when you're older and maybe your kids come here to play or your kids' kids come here to play, they're going to be able to see this tree that you daisies planted this afternoon. And we'll be able to see all the other trees that those that have gone before us have planted, and taking time to recognize the importance of trees in our environment. They provide habitat for animals. They provide shade for all of us. They provide so many things, clean air. We love our trees in Rochester Hills, and that's why Arbor Day is such an important day for us, and that's why we are privileged and thrilled to have been recognized as a Tree City USA for the last 28 years. And so we're not going to leave this ceremony today without doing a couple things. Number one, we're going to read a proclamation, and then we're going to put these daisies to work, right? Are you ready to work, daisies?
Yeah!
All right. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't answered that. We'll have to. City Council, are you ready to work? Plan B. We're excited to plant this tree, and then we want everyone here to go home with a tree and encourage you to plant a tree, whether it's the tree that you get here, a free seedling here, or whether it's some other one you buy from a nursery, or find an acorn, or anything you might find. We really want our residents to plant trees in their homes and in their backyards and in safe and appropriate places so that we can continue to be a Tree City USA for the next 28 years. Daisies, are you with me on that?
Yeah!
All right. Well, let me read this proclamation real quick, and then I'm going to ask Matt to come back up here, and I'll present this proclamation. behalf of the City of Rochester Hills, on National Arbor Day, April 27, 2018, whereas the citizens of Rochester Hills value the trees and woodland resources that enhance our city's beauty, and whereas the annual celebration of Arbor Day provides an opportunity for individuals and communities nationwide to recognize that viable, healthy community trees serve many positive purposes, and whereas trees purify air, produce oxygen, conserve soil and water by reducing stormwater runoff, reduce heating and cooling costs for our buildings, moderate air temperature, and provide food and shelter to wildlife. And whereas trees enhance the economic vitality of business areas, add beauty to our neighborhoods and city, and are renewable resources providing us with paper and wood for many useful purposes, and where this tree is going to be planted by the super awesome daisies, I just made that one up, see if you guys are paying attention. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Brian Barnett, Mayor of the City of Rochester Hills, hereby proclaim Friday, April 27th as National Arbor Day, and further resolved that I encourage all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day by planting trees to enjoy the beauty and pleasure that they provide. Signed and sealed officially this day in April. So congratulations to all of you on celebrating Arbor Day with us today.